Welcome to the NMAA State Seating and Selection Show for baseball and softball, presented by Albuquerque Fire Rescue. I know we have some teams getting together and watching the show. Lovington softball is out there. How you doing, Wildcats? Silver softball wants to know where they are seated. Los Lunas baseball is patiently waiting. Where will St. Pius boys and girls be seated? How about Artesia and Carlsbad? It will all be sorted out in this show. But before we get to that, I think we could all use a refresher about how this process works. The seating process is not the NMAA sitting in a room randomly deciding who should be number one, number two, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's not that. What it is a process that is all data driven. The following criteria is used to determine a team's seed. We look at finish in regular season district play, head-to-head matchups, wins against district championship teams regardless of class, overall record, max preps rankings, and member school input. That's the coach's input and their rankings, and that input can sway a team in one direction or another. There is no input given by NMAA staff. Let me repeat that to make sure everyone hears it. No input by NMAA staff. It's all data driven based on those criteria points. Did you beat a district champ? Do you have a better record? Were you ranked higher in max preps? All of those things. There is no bias for or against any school or team. It's all based on the numbers. Got it? Good. Let's get to why we are watching this show in the first place. The brackets. Ladies first. We will start with softball in Class 4A. And the first top seed handed out in this show goes to the Artesia Bulldogs. Artesia is the defending state champ. In fact, they've won the last 3 state titles handed out and played in the final every year of the tournament since 2017. They returned 9 players from last year's squad, including the top pitcher in the state, Riley Crandall, last year's Gatorade New Mexico Softball Player of the Year, who committed to Baylor and leads the state in strikeouts and has a pair of no-hitters this year.
You know, she has good command of the ball and she's strong and powerful in the circle, and she's a great leader for us. And she's just an all-around great human. So just having her in the program has been huge for us, and having that leadership and having such a young team, because they can build off of her and she can teach them a lot.
Let's see the first bracket of the show. Artesia is the 1 and will take on Kirtland Central in the opener. The winner will face either Los Alamos or Valley. That's the 8-9 matchup. Bernalillo is the 5 seed and gets Academy in the first round. Lovington earned a 4 seed and gets Goddard. Moving down the brackets, Silver's the 3 seed and we'll see Bloomfield in the opener. St. Pius is a 6 seed and will face Portales. Aztec last won it all in 2017. They're a 7 seed this year and will take on Belen. The bottom of the bracket has crosstown rivals Miyamura and Gallup. Gallup is the 2 seed and last year's state runner-up. They underwent an in-season coaching change. Now, looking at this bracket, there are some powerhouse programs. Silver won 8 straight state titles from 2011 to 2018. Silver is on a 14-game win streak where they've outscored their opponents 199 to 14.
If we're winning these games as a coaching staff, we're looking at not are you winning, how are you winning them? And right now we're not leaving runners on base. We're not making errors. We're not doing all the things that plagued us at the beginning of the year. And so we've been preaching to the girls, just taking a step forward every day. And then at the end of the year, we should be where we need to be. And I kind of feel like we've done that.
Now, on to Class 5A. Pretty much most of the coaches you talk to would tell you Carlsbad is the near unanimous number 1. And they'd be right. Carlsbad earned the top seed in Class 5A. The Cave Girls were near perfect this year, suffering their first loss of the year Friday to Hobbs. Carlsbad is 25-1 on the season, last year's state runner-up. They have 2 junior star pitchers in Faith Aragon and Haven Schoolcraft. This program has been up near the top for a couple years now.
2020 probably would have been a good year for us. Didn't get a play, obviously. So the 2 years surrounding 2020, we were runner-ups. I think what we were missing was continuity of the team, everybody working together, and I think we finally have that.
Let's take a look at the bracket. Carlsbad's first round opponent is Sandia, the 16 seed. Mayfield will meet up with Piedra Vista. Rio Rancho will host Roswell. La Cueva is the 4 seed and will take on Atrisco Heritage. The Bears won it all in 2017. La Cueva had a big shutout win against Rio Rancho earlier this season. Alamogordo earned the 3 seed. The Tigers have posted shutouts in 5 of their last 6 games. They will meet up with Manzano. Cleveland is the defending state champ, but lost a good core of that team. This year's squad only has 1 senior. Cleveland will host Farmington. Hobbs will host Volcano Vista. Centennial is the 2 seed. They will see Cibola in the first round. Now, Centennial won a state softball title in 2016. This season, they lost 5 of their first 7 games, but have won their final 15 games of the regular season. Alamogordo was the last team to beat Centennial, but it's a whole new ball game in the postseason.
Tomorrow's a new day. You know, we're only as good as our next game. And so that's next Friday or Saturday, depending on what happens, hopefully, you know, and everything turns out. But we've got to work, and we've got to work hard, and we've got to work hard to get there. So we're only as good as what happens next Friday or Saturday.
Now on to baseball. We will start in Class 2A. The Class 2A field might be seeing red right now because the top team is the Eunice Cardinals. Eunice has a 23-1 record. Their only loss is to Lovington. They are loaded with seniors, 11 seniors on the roster, and of the 9 starters, 8 of them are seniors. Eunice won it all in 2015. They reached the final last season, but lost to Texaco, and they are looking to make another deep run this season.
Anytime you lose up there, it motivates you the next year. You know, you don't want to finish your high school career out that way. The good thing about last year was, you know, we just got beat by a good team, and you know, those losses are a little easier to swallow than just playing horrible baseball. It was just a great game, and we were on the backside of it.
Here are the top 4 teams in Class 2A. Rehoboth Christian only has 1 loss, and pitcher Talon West has an ERA below 1. Capitan is the 3 seed, and Tularosa is the 4. All 4 of these teams receive a first-round bye, so congratulations. Now let's look at the bracket. Laguna Acoma will face Manal Oak Grove. Winner moves on to face top seed Eunice. Santa Rosa is the 5 seed. They will take on Peñasco, the 12 seed. Estancia is the 6 against Loving. McCurdy is the 7 seed and will take on Texaco. Texaco has taken every state title in their classification since 2016. Moving up to Class 3A, this year's top seed goes to the St. Michael's Horsemen. St. Michael's is 19-6 overall. They started the season a little slow, dropping 5 of their first 10, but they've only lost 1 game since then. CJ Seiss has 5 home runs and is one of the state's top RBI guys.
He's really good. I mean, that's the best catcher in all the years I've coached that I've ever had, hands down. I mean, just not a question. The thing with him is his approach is really phenomenal. He doesn't expand the strike zone east to west, north to south, is really disciplined, knows what he's looking for, and picks out a lot of mistakes and hits them hard. I haven't seen, honestly, off of his bat, I haven't seen a ball that's weakly hit off of his bat.
Here are the top 4 teams in Class 3A. Sandia Prep is the 2 seed. The Sun Devils have 6 returning seniors. New Mexico Military Institute has pitcher Luis Patron, who leads the state in strikeouts and recorded a no-hitter this season. Robertson lost 4 of their first 5 games this year, but then went on a winning run, taking 15 of 16. All 4 of these teams earned a first-round bye.
In state, it's all going to be about matchups. There's going to be, every team has at least one guy that can throw. So it's going to be who you play, when you play them, and who is able to withstand the 3 games in a row. Who's the deepest team, and not only the best team not only wins, so it's all about matchups in baseball.
Let's look at the bracket. St. Michael's will wait for the winner of the Santa Fe Indian School and West Las Vegas matchup. East Mountain is the 5 seed and will face Hatch Valley. Cobre is 6 against Zuni. Raton will take on Navajo Prep, and the winner gets Sandia Prep. Now, a little explanation of this bracket. East Mountain and New Mexico Military Institute were tied in district. East Mountain won the head-to-head tiebreaker, taking 2 of 3. But New Mexico Military Institute had a criteria point advantage over East Mountain by a 4-2 margin in those 6 criteria points we talked about at the beginning of the show. So, New Mexico Military Institute received a better seed than East Mountain, and then Robertson had the advantage over East Mountain in criteria points. Again, it all comes down to those 6 criteria points as voted on by the member schools. Now to Class 4A. Not a big surprise to many people, the defending state champs will start the postseason with a number 1 next to their name. Albuquerque Academy earned the top seed in Class 4A. The Chargers are 22-4 and winners of 12 straight. Alex Gato is their number 1 pitcher on the roster. He's a high 80s guy. This year's Academy team is full of seniors who played in last year's title game. Last year, they were a 6 seed, and their path to the title game was a little bit different than this year.
Maybe there's a little more pressure, for results. Last year, we knew who we were, but, we were happy to be there and happy to get the championship game. This year, obviously, there's more, I think there's more pressure to have results and stuff like that when you're, have had such a year like we have had and are put in that position,
Let's look at the bracket. Academy will host Kirtland Central in the opening round. Valley and Belen is the 8-9 matchup. Aztec is 5 and will host Hope Christian. Aztec's Ryan Ray has carried a lot of the load for the Aztec Tigers this year. Grants is having a good season. They are the 4 and will take on Bloomfield. Los Alamos is a 3. Many coaches think they can be dangerous. The Hilltoppers will host Valencia. Santa Teresa is the 6 and will meet Miyamura. Artesia is 7, going against southern rival Goddard. St. Pius is the 2 seed on the opposite side of the bracket from Academy. The Sartans will take on Ruidoso, the 15 seed. Last but not least, Class 5A baseball. Many of the coaches I spoke with this week said this bracket is really up in the air. There are several teams that could make a case to win it all. Let's start at the top, and that honor goes to Carlsbad. The Cavemen earned the number 1 seed this year. Carlsbad is 22-4 on the season. Carlsbad won it all in 2016 under head coach Cody May. He also took home the title in 2012. Now, May coached the Cavemen from 2012 to 2017. He returned this year. The strength of their team this season is definitely pitching, with arguably the best pitcher in the state, Nolan Perry, a Texas Tech commit who will likely get drafted out of high school.
He's throws the ball real well, command of all 4 pitches. He's been sitting 92, 93 pretty much all year. A few of the scouts had him clocked at 94, 95 a few times in our game. So, but really his strength is he doesn't really get in trouble. He doesn't get behind in counts and can really spot up all 4 of his pitches that he throws, which makes him pretty successful, especially in high school baseball. So, but he's had a good high school career and just a kid that, he's got a bright future ahead of him as far as baseball is concerned.
Here's the final bracket a lot of you have been waiting for. Carlsbad will take on El Dorado in the opening round. El Dorado hasn't been to the final since they won it all in 2015. Rio Grande clinched their district on the final day of their regular season. They are an 8, Farmington the 9. Hobbs will host Las Cruces. Hobbs is last year's runner-up. Oregon Mountain earned a 4 and will take on Los Lunas. Oregon Mountain's Maddox Edmondson has 10 wins on the mound, including a no-hitter this season. La Cueva is the defending state champ. In fact, the Bears have won 3 of the last 4 blue trophies handed out. La Cueva will take on Piedra Vista. Cleveland is the 6th seed and will face Centennial. Cleveland played in the final in 2019. So Cleveland is the 6 and rival Rio Rancho is the 7. The Rams couldn't be seeded higher than the Storm because Cleveland won that district. Rio Rancho will play district rival Volcano Vista. Sandia is the 2 seed and will meet Mayfield in the opening round. Sandia last reached the title game in 2013. They won back-to-back district titles for the first time since 1980-81. This bracket is up for grabs.
Our message is that we're 0-0. The rest of the state is 0-0. We start the season all over again. It's like starting out the year in El Paso all over again. Get that energy back. We have a new season. You're about to be done in 1 week, so no regrets. Play hard, play, every pitch, every out, and let's have fun.
Don't forget, you can watch the state tournament games on the NFHS network. So get a subscription and log on so you can watch the action. This is also a great time to remind everyone to download the NMAA 24/7 app. It's free, and it's the best way to keep up with all the action from all the state spring sports championships. Tickets for the first rounds of the baseball and softball championships will be sold by the host school. The quarterfinals through the championship game will be sold via GoFan at gofan.co/NMAA. That's going to do it for the 2022 State Baseball and Softball Seeding and Selection Show presented by Albuquerque Fire Rescue. If you want even more breakdowns of the brackets, watch Game Time this week. It's our weekly high school sports show. It's posted on our website on Tuesday. Good luck to all the teams involved, and remember to compete with class.